Sledgehammer are working on this year's annual installment of Call of Duty, and while we know little about the game right now, owing to the fact that it's not yet been officially revealed, we have been getting snippets of information here and there. There is, for instance, a job ad up on Activision's official website right now that seems to hint at the fact that the guys at Sledgehammer Games are looking for people to work on the character design aspect of the game. Sledgehammer are looking for someone to work as a key member of the character art team to create high-quality and detailed character designs. One of their job requirements is to create awesome characters that are efficient, built to scale, and satisfy budgetary requirements. This is in line with something else we reported last week. Apparently, Sledgehammer are also looking to hire someone to work on realistic and believable character animations. While the big consoles right now are the PS4 Pro, Nintendo Switch, and the upcoming Xbox Scorpio, eventually there will be full-fledged successors to these systems, a theoretical PS5 and Xbox 2 maybe. When they happen, just what kinds of performance and graphical upgrades are we expecting from them, especially considering where we already stand with our present-day tech? That was the question we raised to Jamie Fisher, producer at Climax Studios for Surfworld series, when we had the chance to chat with him. Does he feel, for instance, that a potential PS5 will be able to achieve photorealistic visuals? Will the tech upgrade be big enough? I'm not so fussed about what's in the box, I'm more interested in the games, Fisher mused in response. So my wish for the next hardware iterations is just that people keep making good stuff for them. Photorealism is an inevitability. If we keep increasing the power of our gaming hardware, which is something we 100% will continue to do, we'll eventually reach a level where the visuals of a game are capable of photorealism, whether it's the next generation or not. But for me, it's not something that I'm all that drawn to. I would personally be more drawn to a game with a well-crafted or interesting or cohesive aesthetic over one that looked real. Fisher also chipped in on the PS4 and Xbox One Scorpio, discussing them from a customer standpoint. I'm not remotely qualified to speak on that from a business standpoint, he said, but as a consumer, I'd be miffed if the console I bought in the last 3 years was suddenly obsolete. The move to a more iterative model for home consoles is an interesting proposition. So long as the time for which a given generation of a given platform is supported makes owning one worthwhile, and that said support is good, then I don't see any major issue. On the whole, I have to say these are very well weighted and reasoned responses, and I can't say I disagree with any of what he said. One thing is for sure, it will be interesting to see how the console market develops and plays out from here on out for sure. From going to making niche cult hit CRPGs to one of the biggest and most acclaimed AAA titles in history, CD Projekt Red has had a hell of a ride, and is not stopping anytime soon. Because right now, all hands on deck are working on CyberPunk 2077. CD Projekt has previously said that CyberPunk will be its most ambitious outing till date, and speaking to Polish website Gazeta, CD Projekt Red co-founder Michal Kazinkst has stated yet again that CyberPunk could go on to become an even bigger success than The Witcher 3. I think that none of us expected such an unbelievable success of the game and CD Projekt itself. We're talking about a game that has pretty much won every single award and accolade that you can in this industry. If we're to expect something more, it would be even better sales of the game. My brother Adam, CD Projekt's CEO, spoke about it at one of the investors' conferences. The Witcher 3 was of course a gigantic commercial success, but in terms of sales, there's still a lot of room for growth. CD Projekt's ambition is to catch up with the largest developers in the world in that area. And why will Cyberpunk achieve greater success? Well, one reason could be its science fiction setting, inherently more appealing than a fantasy setting. The Witcher was a fantastic material for a game, but it also constrained us. For starters, we're working with a story set in a fantasy world. Secondary, we're promoting a brand that was mainly known in Central Eastern Europe and not in the West. I'm confident that Cyberpunk 2077 can be a much bigger commercial success than The Witcher 3. The futuristic world of the Cyberpunk is much closer to what we know from our daily lives. It's also much more popular, massive as you can tell by its presence in films, books, comics, and games. You have to remember that fantasy is a much more niche topic. I believe that in case of CyberPunk, CD Projekt can fight not only for prestigious awards and accolades, but also for a huge commercial success. It's hard to achieve both of those in our industry, but it's perfectly doable, as shown by Rockstar and, in the past, Blizzard. I wish CD Projekt Red all the luck in the world. With The Witcher 3, they've proven they are a talented bunch. Now let's see if The Witcher 3 was just a flash in the pan. The Japanese console gaming market is officially back on the upswing, after spending some years in the doldrums, owing to the Wii's early death, the Wii U's failure, and the PS4 not selling well until very recently. The market is now on the rise again thanks to the strong Switch and PS4 sales. We've already reported on the Nintendo Switch's strong start in the region, but how is Sony's console doing? Very well, it turns out. This week marks the PlayStation 4 hitting 4.5 million units in sales in Japan. Launch aligned, it is doing far better than the PS3. With Japanese support for the PS4 showing no signs of relenting, this can only bode good things for the system's future in the region. Conversely, fans of Japanese games can be assured that their PS4s will be supported with games for a very long time to come. The one black mark in this good news is the performance of the PS4 Pro. The console has simply failed to move the needle in Japan, and its sales are only 200,000, less than 5% of total PS4 sales in the country. While Sony never intended it to be a volume mover, I'm sure they wanted it to do better than it is doing right now. Ah well, even while the Pro flounders, the standard PS4 and Nintendo Switch continue to do well. It's good times all round for the Japanese gaming industry.
And that'll be about it for this one. If you guys like what we're doing at GamingBolt, please consider subscribing to our channel, and I'll see you guys on the next video.